Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to another reaction video for today. I'm here to take a look at a brand new odd header video. New for me at least. Wait, when did this come out? 3 days ago. Well, that's good enough. Anyway, hey, whoa, spoilers. Anyway, the most disturbing cut content found in video games. I'm assuming we're going to see some stuff we've already seen before, because I swear I've seen, like, I had to have seen, like, 3 or 4 videos called this before. You know what I mean? Like, this seems like odd header, like, 101. You know, like the most disturbing cut content found in video game. You know what I mean? Like, has he? I swear to God, he's done like a video called this before. I don't know. All right, well, this one, to be fair, the other ones could just be like 7 disturbing. This is the most. So anyway, this is the scariest shit. So I'm sure I've seen some of these before, but let's get to it. Luckily, I don't watch like too much odd header. So whenever he does a video like this, where it's like, here's the most disturbing shit that I've covered, you know. It's not going to be stuff we've already seen before. Anyway, let's get to it. Let's check this out. 3, 2, 1, play.
Sometimes you find something in a video game that makes you think, I don't think that was supposed to be
Oh,
in the
what's
game.
Mario doing
why
at the
we're
beach?
diving into the 10 most unbelievable pieces of cut content that were found in video games.
How'd he put his entire mustache inside there?
Daigaku Gurashi. Thanks, Samari, for submitting this discovery through
oddheader.com.
Daigaku Gurashi is an anime social simulator released in 2022, where you play as a college student.
No, this shit came out in 1995. What are you talking about?
In the small town of Kimiyomori. Depending on how you play, you can't have a completely normal college life attending classes, studying, and socializing with the other students. Or you can be an asshole and bully everyone.
Hell
and see horrifying results.
That's me.
But,
however,
it appears the character's deteriorating mental health isn't the only dark thing lurking in Daigaku Gurashi. Players who explore
this game like actually good?
Game world more can uncover the town's dark secrets. If you get up in the middle of the night and explore the town from midnight to 1 a.m., known as the witching hour in the game, the music and audio change to sound sinister, and the lights on some lampposts go out. Some players have also reported seeing eyes watching them at night. There's also the disappearance of the character Surian, who is rumored to have drowned in the water tower near the school. Supposedly, you can see Surian's ghost on extremely rare occasions by the water tower when playing as a bully, according to this image that's been shared on the wiki. Although in the comments of the page and on the game's Discord, no one has managed to get this to happen. Although one user on the Discord thinks they may have caught a glimpse of her behind this door. And while there's definitely someone there, it's hard to tell much from this distance. However...
Oh, no, there's I mean, all right, can you do anything? Oh, yeah, look, you have a depression meter. I just saw that. Is there anything to do at night? If there's nothing to do at night, what's the point of even being able to wake up at night and do stuff? You know what I mean? So there must be something going on if there's no activities
when they
or
discovered
anything.
this hideous face texture called Surian, which doesn't seem to match the only known appearance of Surian. It's currently unknown if this is a cut texture for Surian or if it's part of a ghostly appearance that's yet to be found. Though given this may be what her face looks like, maybe it's a good thing no one's been able to see her up close yet. Hitman. Blood Money. Thanks to
There's a lot of disturbing shit in the Hitman game.
For spinning this discovery on the Odd Header Discord. Blood Money, released in 2006, part of the stealth series featuring Agent 47. It appears one of Agent 47's missions originally wasn't going to go as planned, according to some files Getro found in the date of the game. In the mission Amendment 25, the player must break into the White House and kill the game's fictional Vice President Daniel Morris and another assassin, who are planning on killing the game's president in an attempt to overthrow him. If the player focuses on the mission, they can sneak into the White House and take out both of the targets, unless the player decides
I can't wait to play it.
to throw this briefcase at the wall near the fireplace 3 times, which for some reason causes all the Marines to line up and dance the can-can. However, Getro found some cut voice lines that
say, so far this isn't disturbing, this is weird.
The can-can wasn't the only crazy thing that was going to happen in this mission. The voice lines come from Vice President Daniel Morris saying,
"I ever tell you how sick I am of walking that goddamn dog?"
Apparently very sick, because he then appears to hold the First Lady hostage and demands to see the President.
"Just keep your mouth shut, bitch, and there won't be any trouble. Either I see the President, or his wife sees bullets."
Getro also found cut voice lines for the First Lady.
Damn.
Kill me! No, don't kill me! I'll do anything, just please, God, don't kill me!
While waiting for the President to meet his demands, he tells the First Lady,
"I wish I didn't need a hostage, because nothing would make me happier than blasting your brains all over the room."
Holy
God
shit.
damn.
It's unclear why this
God
was cut,
damn. Kind of based. No.
certainly would have made the mission darker. It's hard to think there could be anything that would make a mission look too dark in a Hitman game, but apparently this is one of those things.
I'm actually excited to play a little bit of Hitman on Switch too, because I did pre-order that, so obviously not Blood Money, but there is a Blood Money what was it, like a remaster or something that came out?
At least we still got to see these guys being held hostage to the rhythm.
Yeah, look at
Red Dead Redemption 2, with
There's
everything not meant to be found already seen
disturbing
by
shit in
players
there,
in
so
Rockstar's biggest game to date. It should come as no surprise that Red Dead 2 is on this list. This discovery involves Mayor Timmons of the town Strawberry, who all the townsfolk are rather suspicious about. No one knows much about him, as he came to Strawberry from the east, and they've never seen the wife he talks about, so some people are convinced he keeps her locked away in his house. Talking to Timmons reveals he was a professor at Princeton University, but left due to unfair rumors spreading about him. If you're done listening to Timmons and decide to loot him instead, you can find a letter from his sister, which reveals that Timmons never married, and that he left Princeton because he was having an affair with another male professor. And while this perhaps would have been shocking in the Wild West days, it's certainly not as shocking as the discovery data miners found in the files of the game, as in the data of the game is a cut character named Miss Timmons.
Oh no.
Miss Timmons would have been the mayor's wife. Well, sort of, as the character model is just a set of woman's legs, bearing it all. And while I had to add a larger sensor here to be safe on YouTube, the model actually already appears with a sensor bar in the files. This Mayor Timmons story just gets more and more confusing.
Well, they were probably going to make they're probably going to do a disturbing story about he has a wife or whatever, but he locks her up. I'm going to assume that was probably true. But then they just cut it and just put that letter. Like, he was gay, actually. It was a lie, so people didn't think he was gay. Oh, yeah. I've never played this game, but the game always was one that I felt like I needed to.
It's a meantime, Sifrin/June for submitting this discovery.
I wonder if they ever could do a remake of this. They did a remaster. That's probably what we're watching here.
I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream is a point-and-click adventure game released for Windows and Mac in 1995. In the game, a rogue AI known as Am kills off all of humanity except for 5 people who he has kept alive to torture by putting them through VR simulations of their worst memories and fears. While it certainly wasn't a huge hit, I Have No Mouth is regarded as one of the darkest games of all time. However, some pre-release footage of the game suggests that the game was going to be even more shocking. While pre-release versions of the game are now considered lost media, the only remaining footage of this version can be seen in one episode of the TV show Games Master. The show aired in the UK from 92 to 98 and had a segment reviewing upcoming video games. The show's host,
I've never even heard of this show.
Briefly mentioned
I'm not British, so
in the show's Gore special episode, where they talked about how up the game was and showed a few scenes that didn't make it into the final version of the game. The footage included a more graphic version of this meat locker scene, which was toned down in the final game. A scene with a sick puppy who is healed by feeding it a human heart from one of your friends you just killed.
Oh, that's fine.
This scene of one of the...
That's a good trade.
The characters, don't tell me he's gonna eat that. Damn.
Oh no, Christopher Reeve.
Usually, these deleted scenes are the only thing that Games Master talked about in their review of I Have No Mouth. If these were the scenes that were sent to the press to sell the game, I'm gonna guess that might have something to do with it.
Oh, like the guy who's like has to promote this, like, all right, here we go, to all the investors, here we go, watch this, and then show all this fucking shit, and he's like, right? It's good stuff.
Not selling very well. Mega Man Legends.
So get the fuck out right now.
Jinx for submitting this discovery through oddheader.com. Mega Man Legends.
I feel like we've seen Mega Man Legends before on this channel.
Legends released in 1997, featuring the family-friendly world-saving robot. That is, unless you play the Japanese version of the game, where Mega Man acts like a huge... In the game, a dog named Paprika chases the character Tron Bonne, causing her to climb up a light pole. How Mega Man saves Tron Bonne can differ between the releases, depending on a choice the player can make in only one of the versions. In the American version, the only way to chase Paprika off is to give it a stern talking to, with Mega Man saying it can't treat girls
Yeah, it's an original release.
That way. What a great role model. Luckily, the dog appears to understand human language and stops harassing Tron Bonne, and then runs away. Mega Man asks if she's okay. Tron Bonne tells him to mind his own business, and then runs away. Not even a thank you. However, this scene can be quite a bit different in the Japanese version. As in this version, Mega Man has the option to get Paprika to back off in a different way, by instead punching them. across the street.
Get the fuck out of here.
Doing it this way, Trottenbond still doesn't thank you. Though honestly here, that's maybe a more appropriate reaction.
That one makes
Makes
more
sense
sense.
why this was cut out of the North American version.
Why? Because we're a bunch of fucking pussies over
Though
here.
I am left kind of confused why it's in the
I like I said like 2 minutes ago, oh, that's a good trade. Killing your friend, ripping his heart out and feeding it to your dog. And now I'm just like, kick the dog.
In the
Yeah.
first place.
Don't kick the goddamn baby.
Is kicking a dog across the street considered acceptable behavior in Japan? Plain history too. Thanks to Dawson H for submitting this discovery through oddheader.com.
Pussy.
A couple of years ago, I released an April Fool's video on video games that got pulled from stores for outrageous reasons.
Scrunt was a Mega 64 joke.
Featuring games such.
Wait, what wasn't that? I
Fool's
sort of got Scrunt was a Mega 64 joke.
Video on video games that got pulled from stores for outrageous reasons, featuring games such as Naked Mario and racist Tetris. Spoiler alert, these were fake games made up by my friends and collaborators Mega 64. However, the videos seemed convincing enough for some viewers to look up some of
racist Tetris. Racistress? Wouldn't that be better?
These games. And that's how Dawson found a racist knockoff of Tetris that actually did exist. Although, unfortunately, it wasn't a joke like the fake one. This version existed in the historical kids' educational game Plain History 2, Slave Trade.
I forgot we were in Slave Trade.
The title released...
Dude, that kid's face right now. That's someone who's played 8 hours straight of racist Tetris.
2013 on Steam from the Danish developer Serious Games Interactive. The game was made to educate young players on the Atlantic slave trade, having them take on...
I'm trying to think of what it's going to be. What is racist Tetris going to look like? Is it just going to be... Oh, no, I don't even want
the role of a young enslaved boy who serves as a steward on a ship preparing to take the Middle Passage to the Caribbean. In one part of the game, you're tasked with fitting as many enslaved Africans as you can into the cargo of his ship. In order to do so, the game switches to a Tetris-like minigame, where the NPCs are like domino pieces.
Oh, no, it's like your attaché case in Resident Evil 4.
And you have to fit as many as possible into the space. Then in 2015, 2 years after the game was released, the developer removed the minigame after they received complaints, which called it dehumanizing. In the apology issued, the studio said the whole point of the game
why is
was
he standing on the ladder?
How dehumanizing the slave trade was. And while there's no arguing it was inhumane, many felt that showing this through this sort of minigame wasn't the best way to depict it. Though judging
very bad idea.
by how the rest of the game looks, doesn't look like that was the only bad decision the developers made here.
Yeah.
Twisted Metal. The first...
When you said it came out 2013? I thought it was like... I thought legitimately. Like, the other game I said it was like 1995. Obviously, you know. But, obviously, that game looks like it was straight up 1998.
Game in the classic series released in 1995, where drivers fight to the death in a demolition derby with their twistedly modified vehicles.
Can we get a new one?
The contest is run by the ominous character Calypso, who agrees to grant a wish to the last surviving.
I still need to watch season 1 of the show.
Driver left.
When did we get a trailer for that? Because we only got like a teaser for season 2.
The game normally ends with scrolling text revealing what each character wished for and how Calypso granted their wish. Such as the serial killer clown Sweet Tooth, who wished for his best friend back, a paper bag he calls Harold, or Outlaw, who wishes for the Twisted Metal contest to never be held again, and gets sent to a world devoid of life, where he'll endlessly float around for eternity, or Yellow Jacket, who wishes to find out if his son is still alive, only to find out his son was Sweet Tooth, who he just killed, and is then filled with a sense of anguish and regret he never thought possible. Damn, now that's dark. However, these text endings were actually a replacement for live-action endings, which were cut and buried until Sony released them 13 years later on 2008's Twisted Metal Head-On, fully Twisted Edition for the PS2.
The PS2 version of the PSP game. Actually, I don't think I knew that.
Watching these endings fills me with a sense of anguish and regret I never thought possible, as the live-action endings are shot like a low-budget soap opera produced by Family Dollar, and they're full of performances far from Oscar-worthy.
You guys are both sick. I'm getting out of here, and I'm taking your truck.
Damn it, I don't need a lecture. I need to save my men. I need more time.
While many of these scenes portray the same endings as the text versions, some of the live-action endings are quite different, such as Hammerhead's ending, who in the final ending wished for new tires, but in the live-action ending instead wishes for...
We want babes!
Oh yeah, babes! Done.
Wait a second, that worked? He let them go with the babes.
Hi!
Nice to see an ending where everything worked out. Who at Sony thought releasing these was a good idea? Goes without
What?
saying, these
The
endings
basil
were
was great.
supposedly cut because of their
That's
low
right.
quality, as well as the fact the name Twisted Metal was chosen late in development, so the actors used one of the earlier names of the game, High Octane.
Yeah.
But let's be real here. It's mostly because of the low quality.
You don't have to do this, man. You don't have to do this. I'm
It
sorry.
looks like fucking like someone defaced Carrot Top. This fucking this version of Calypso. Like, what the
You don't have
fuck?
to do this. I'm sorry about the girl, man. You don't have to do this.
Marvel Saga. Koro
He
Renpa.
sounded really, he's really scared for his life. You don't have to do this, man. Come on. I'm sorry about the girl. Please don't shoot my face with a shotgun. Please don't do it.
Thanks to Bro Honky for submitting this discovery on the Oddheader Discord. Marvel Saga Koro Renpa is a Wii game from 2009, which appears to be pretty kid-friendly and innocent, where you nearly step
Until
on a
it's
tiny
not.
ant named Anthony at the beginning of the game.
For
For some reason, in the ant world, this means you have to help him find a seed from a magic golden flower, and the only way to do this is by rolling marbles through a series of obstacle
rolling
courses.
marble games.
It's a pretty typical Wii game that
Marble
showcases
Blast
the
Ultra,
console's
bro.
motion controls in order to move around the environment. However,
I'm sure it's
Bro
really
Honky
good.
found a discovery that doesn't look like anything else
Maybe
in
it
the
is.
game,
It could
as
be
in
good.
the
This
files
looks
of the
solid.
game is a strange garden gnome looking character with what looks like a hood over its face.
Okay.
Anything with a hood like that can't be up to
It's like
anything
a fake
good.
ass Mario with the colors of his clothing is like changed.
This character doesn't appear anywhere in the final game as far as players know.
This is disturbing.
Even stranger, it appears that the character could have even been
Oh.
decapitated.
Okay, I get it.
The mystery continues when you look in
I
the
spoke
files
too
of the
soon.
first game in the series, Marble Mania. As in the data, there's apparently an entire army of these creatures who also
They go-
appear on multiple test maps
They
throughout
could be
the
beheaded too.
game. Perhaps
Yeah.
the original
What a
premise
life
for
to
some
live,
reason
just be
involved
beheaded.
decapitating an army of hooded creatures, as if that would make any sense. Not that the plot of this game makes any sense to begin with. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. In the 2009
The original?
version
Yeah.
of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, data
I looked at
miners
the
found an
original logo,
unsettling
so I figured
discovery that would have occurred in the mission of their own accord if you stood in a specific spot for an extended period of time. At one point in the mission, you're supposed to protect the Washington Monument civilian evac site. However, as YouTuber General Kid shows in this spot, you can hear on the radio that the battlefield needs more reinforcements. By standing still rather than going to complete the mission, you can hear the soldier on the radio giving updates as the situation grows more dire. Eventually, the radio dialogue stops when reinforcements are down by 80%, a seemingly small background detail. But after being given a tip, General Kid found there was more audio for the scene in the files of the game that doesn't appear in Modern Warfare 2. General Kid found the unused dialogue goes all the way down to 0% fortified. When this happened, it appears there's supposed to be a disturbing cut-fail ending, where every single civilian dies because you chose to just stand there, including women and children. While most Call of Duty battlefields
I don't know why they
appear
cut
to
that
be
out.
cleared of civilians,
This is the same game that has everybody being killed in a fucking airport.
this cut-fail ending actually has audio of
No,
civilians
this is too disturbing.
screaming.
I don't understand. Is it because they had the no Russian scene? So they're like, all right, we can't keep putting all this fucking.
And
But
the
no one's gonna ever see this anyway, so I don't understand because no one's gonna fail at this bad, right?
actor playing the desperate soldier on the radio really tries to sell how dire the situation
The
is.
voice acting is really good. All right, the no part was cheesy.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if this was cut just because of this actor's incredibly over-the-top performance. Maybe that's why
Yeah, well, that part was bad.
the only thing changed in the remaster was the voice actor. Grand Theft Auto, San Andreas.
Wait, is that true? The remaster was the only thing.
Thanks to Petco 2001 and Apprehensive Funny 520 for submitting this discovery on the Oddheader Discord and Reddit. San
Okay.
Andreas landed Rockstar in some hot water for the infamous hot coffee incident, which actually got the game
gotta
re-rated
be
to
a different
adults
thing.
only and pulled from stores.
Because that wasn't cut. Well, I guess technically it was supposed to be cut content, but people fucked around and got it right. I'm assuming that's not going to be the one, right? There's got to be a different thing.
This happened because modders found a way to hack into the house when CJ visits the ladies for some hot coffee and sees some content never normally seen in the game. And with coffee as hot as that, it may be surprising to hear there was even more spicy cut content hiding in San Andreas that no one was ever supposed to see. This strange cut content would have appeared in the mission OG Loke. In this mission, the game picks up OG Loke from prison, who says he needs to kill Freddy for stealing his rap lyrics. At Freddy's house, Freddy tells Loke he doesn't need his scrawny ass anymore because he has plenty of muchachas on the outside, implying Freddy and Loke shared a little more than rap lyrics, and Loke now wants to kill him to keep this a secret. Freddy tells Loke,
"You got the wrong idea, man. That was just a prison thing."
And
you dropped the soap, sugar.
Before fleeing out the back door on a motorcycle. The group then chases Freddy, who taunts Loke catcalling him and making fun of his butt.
"I thought you were king, you bun."
Leading him to eventually yell, "He's broken my heart," at his goons before getting killed in a shootout. After he's killed, CJ asks Loke if he was lonely in prison, saying,
"I like a nice mustache myself."
However, data miners made a discovery that would have left no room for interpretation as to Loke and Freddy's relationship. As in the files of the game, there are 2 unused images, which thanks to scripting found in the definitive edition, we now know would have appeared as a quick flash when the game first meets with Loke and during the scene at Freddy's house. One image is a hand picking up some soap, and the other image is this, implying the relationship in prison wasn't consensual.
No, really? He said he dropped the soap earlier.
Rockstar may have been trying to keep the details of the relationship more ambiguous. These cut images appear to confirm what players had suspected all along. Seeing these images, we now know Freddy definitely got what he deserved. Damn, this makes hot coffee look like chilled latte. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. And if you know of any other cut content video games you'd like to see me cover, submit through oddheader.com, come join the Discord, or even send me a shout through Twitter or Reddit. Shout out to Aaron Johnston, Angel the Fox, Ash Photography, Bitwith27, Black EV50, Chad Biscuit, Eddie Talks from the Bleach Primid, Flex, Jailbreak, Isaac Murillo, Kieran Bolton, Nat XD, Nova Vega, The Meatly, Phoenix157, Rackman22, Riley S, Robert Isaac, Select.
Hey, that was a pretty good compilation.
Patreon support.
I feel like I haven't seen most of those. I guess none of them were like blowing my mind and made me like. The most disturbing one was probably the first one, honestly, for me. The Hitman one's pretty good. The dog one from Mega Man was fucking weird. Yeah, I actually didn't know about that live action cutscenes from the first Twisted Metal. That's actually crazy. Maybe I did. I just forgot. I don't know, because I had that PS2 version of Twisted Metal Head On. I had the PSP version. I played that more, but still. Anyway, that's it. Good stuff. Bye.